All right, there we go. Okay. So again, guys, rejection from that daily gap. I'm hoping that this isn't going to be the high that forms for the remainder of the month, though it's definitely possible. You can see here on the hourly, we had a pretty strong manipulation above this internal high, and now we're obviously rejecting quite strongly. Also inversing that hourly fair value gap to the downside, which tells me that this low is probably going to hit very soon. Hoping not today, but it's definitely, again, definitely possible here. So if we get some kind of an A plus inversion to the downside, maybe we'll try it. But it really will have to be A plus here. We've already passed the midnight and 8:30 open, and we're very close to that second, or actually we've passed the first standard deviation, and we are potentially bouncing from it. So maybe a test of the second standard deviation, we'll have to see. Let's look at the rest of the market real quick. Ooh, Nike's doing pretty good. Hold on, guys. Okay, so we're only, let's see here. We are only about 80 points from that daily fair value gap. So we could easily be consolidating here to then get a down move into it, and then maybe we get a long setup from there. That's possible as well. It was just unemployment claims, huh? That's wild. Unemployment claims moved the market the way it did, which is very shocking to me. Super surprising. Okay, so I was looking at, okay, so amazingly, guys, again, the monthly fair value gap that we just sold our Boeing position from, we rejected it immediately from the monthly gap. Again, our sells were at 214.63, and you can see now we're already rejecting down into the 210s. I still think this has more legs higher, but again, because we added at 152, no need um, to be unnecessarily holding this trade. That was an A plus setup, and we took our majority of the profits off at the best spot in my opinion. Nike is the next one I'm looking at, and this is going to be super important here. On the weekly chart, I've said this many times, but we have this weekly fair value gap that we are about to close above after forming an order block. If this week closes above this 63.06 level, I believe it is, 63.14, then I think that this has a ton of legs up all the way into the 80s, and then I'm going to also be targeting this 90 level as well as the 98 level. These are all levels of buy side liquidity for Nike that have just been kind of, I guess you can call them engineered. They're engineered highs that are just ready to get swept. And obviously, if you look at the weekly chart, if you go all the way back to 1997, this is the most volume that we have seen since 97. Look at these two candles here on the weekly. They're the highest they have been since the 90s right here on this green candle. And after this, obviously this was a sell moment for Nike here, but you can see what happened in the long term after that. So super excited for Nike, and that's just, again, one of my positions. Where is my target for Nike? If you guys look at the weekly chart, there is a very significant PD array right here. This is a weekly fair value gap, and it rests at $109.06. So if we get the inversion here, like, I've already added Nike personally. I added it in the 70s, and I added it at 52 or 53. So my cost basis is about $63. So I'm pretty much break even on this right now. But if we are able to get that weekly close, again, I'm going to be looking to target this internal high, this internal high, this internal high, and ultimately this weekly fair value gap. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, and again, guys, look at, those of you guys who follow the channel pretty closely know that I was looking for this mean threshold of the daily fair value gap to get hit. The fact that we missed it here and rejected, I believe this was a bond auction day, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, around like 1 o'clock, give or take. No, actually, this wasn't a bond auction day, never mind. But whatever caused this rejection here on the daily, I was looking for that high to get swept. Now that it's been swept, I would say I'm more so inclined to believe the market's slightly bearish for the short term. If we get some kind of an A plus setup, I still have this data high targeted here, so we're going to label this on the chart. This is the data high from unemployment claims this morning. Data high. So it's definitely possible that we can hit this today, but what I'm really looking for is some kind of an inversion play, ideally this one right here. You can see this 5-minute fair value gap. We'll label this as an IFEG. Oops. It's a 1-minute gap, but I believe, oh no, it's not even resting on the 5, never mind. So it's basically the 1-minute, the 2-minute, and the 3-minute that all have their fair value gaps. So you want to see how the market behaves within this fair value gap and potentially use that to go long. So this will probably be my one trade of the day if we get it, targeting that data high. And I don't know if we'll get a clean delivery all the way up, but it's definitely a possibility. Wow, Tesla is completely selling off today, guys. Tesla down 4% again. So we're finally in this gap that I was talking about the other day. Hold on one second, guys. Let me delete some stuff here. So I had an alert set here. I am going to be selling some puts. I will alert you guys on which puts I'm going to be selling in the community. Label this as a gap real quick. It's not a new week opening gap, but hold on. Make this white. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Wow, this is painful. Sorry to those who are watching this right now. I'm just going to send this to my cousin. I was telling one of my cousins to buy Tesla in this gap, so I'm going to send this to him right now. All right. Okay, so NQ is pushing up here. I would like to see it touch into the top of this 1-minute gap. Oops. Okay, so now that this is filled, if we can get a close above this on the 3-minute, I will try this to the long side. Oops. Candle closes at 24. But I made this mistake yesterday, but I'm going to be continuing. I'll hold this. Even if the 3-minute closes below, guys, I will allow the 1-minute to be respected here. So even if the 3-minute closes above, which it doesn't look like it's going to, let's see. So no close above there on the 3. If the 1 closes above as well as the 3-minute, I will allow the 1-minute to be my respect for the day. Because last time I longed an inverse 3, you guys know that it failed, and then we ended up going up anyways, so. Okay, so we're waiting for the 2 to close above and the 3. So let's see if we can get it. Then your first TP on this trade is going to be here. This is TP1. And then TP2 is obviously going to be that internal high. Did we just create perfect equal highs here? Wow. Okay, so we just made perfect equal highs here as well. Just a heads up, guys. And there they are. Super unfortunate that we're not getting a great entry here. I wanted the entry on the 3-minute to be up here. And then to take this long, stop to break even at that high. But it looks like this is probably going to go without me, unfortunately. Obviously, the 3-minute is going to be closing above here, guys. But we've already swept an internal high. So it's very difficult for me to be able to take this. By the way, if you guys hear music in the background, I apologize. Can you guys hear music? Let me know if you're watching this. Also, guys, make sure if you're in here, like the stream. It helps the algos. So obviously, if you're longing here, guys, the risk reward is a lot worse. It's a 1.63 now, with the stop loss being a 1-minute close back below this gap here on the 1-minute chart. So just keep that in mind. And the reason that I'm not longing this personally, again, is because the risk to reward for this is a lot worse than it was here. If this ended up closing up here, then you're looking at You were looking at a potential 3 to 1 RR trade. By buying here, you're looking at a 1.62 to 1 RR, which is not nearly good. I look to at least get a 2 for 1 most of the time, so fortunate, but it is what it is. If you guys want to try and get a better entry here in this bullish 3-minute gap, if we get a retest of it, you can try your long within it. So you can get like a 2.5. If we can retest the bottom of this 3-minute, I'll look to take this, I think. I'll do it half size, but I'll take it. Because we've already swept an internal high here, so risk is obviously increased on this trade. We also formed another set of perfect equal highs here, just a heads up. I hope I don't get copyright striked for this. Can you guys, somebody in the chat, let me know if you can hear the background music. Wow, this is crazy. Very strong reaction. I don't like the fact that we just tested the 3-minute and we're getting an inversion here. Not a good sign for bulls, for sure. Be super careful with longing here, guys, unless you see something really good. Maybe if we get this inversion a little bit later today, this looks better to me. So if we can close here around midnight and get a strong reaction up, then you can re-enter on this fair value gap and then use that to target TP1 as your data high, and then TP2 as the, or TP1 is the internal high, TP2 is the data high. So this will be my play if we get it, guys. But this looks super bearish right now. And if we inverse this 3-minute, then I'm thinking that's going to drive us down to here. So let's see how this plays out. Only when you speak and it's barely. Oh, okay. All right, good, good. Wow, Tesla is really selling off here, guys. The gap fully fills at 298. It's possible we get there. I think this is probably just going to be a rebalancing to go higher. But there's no denying this is pretty bearish for now. Rejecting from that monthly fair value gap. We still have a little bit of that monthly gap left. So I will note that if you look at the monthly on Tesla, this fair value gap right here still did not fully fill on the monthly. So we have up until 373.04 for Tesla. So I'm going to pay close attention to this. super bearish after that close, guys. Yeah, this is going to go all the way down to this daily. I'm telling you right now. Pay attention to this daily low. The only hope for a long setup here is if we are able to inverse both of these fair value gaps to the upside. But is there news that just came out? Because this was a pretty strong 1 minute candle. I don't know if Trump said something or something else. Was there an SMT with ES here? So ES was able to sweep its internal low. So you guys see here. NQ did not sweep its internal low. It came close, but it didn't do it. This was the 10, it's the 10-10 candle, right? Yeah. So there is an SMT here on the 1 minute with ES. Just letting you guys know. So if we can inverse this, I think this is going to be an upside trade. Wow, this is crazy unreal. So anyone who tried to take this 3 minute inversion to the downside is getting smoked right now, obviously. Okay, so it's not even giving us an option to enter here on the 1 minute. Such crazy price action. Before we sweep the internal high, before we inverse the fair value gap, it sweeps the internal high. So this is not a possible trade for me. If you guys want to enter here, then you should keep your stop losses super tight. But I'm not entering this anymore. Not after the internal high was swept. Oops. Ah, that's so annoying. But I'm still under the belief, I thought that after this 3 minute inversion happened that this was going to go down, but you can see we made an SMT with ES. Lower low, higher low, so that's an SMT. Came back and inverse this. This is really, really weird price action, so it's not something I want to be a part of. Fake down move to a fake up move. Who knows what's going to happen now, guys. If I were you, the last 2 days, price action-wise, have been really bad, in my opinion. Like, if you look at yesterday's PA, look at this. This is so bad. And then this morning, obviously, we swept that daily fair value gaps mean threshold, and now price is acting really, really odd. The last 2 days have been tough, so... Just have to learn when price action is good to trade and when it is not. And there's signatures in price that you see day in and day out that are great. And then there's stuff like this where it's like not good. There was a 1 minute inversion this morning. If you guys took this, that is so lucky, but it did end up working to sweep that mean threshold of the daily gap. Wow, this is unreal. Okay, Nike is doing really well. I'm praying to see what Nike closes at by the end of the day today. If we can get above the 63.14, that's going to be incredible. And I'll show you guys what I'm going to play in the Discord if we get that. And I wouldn't be surprised if you look at the call flow on Nike today. I would not be surprised if you end up seeing some big call flow coming in at the end of the day, or like right before close. But again, if you took that 1 minute inversion, unfortunately that is a stop out on the trade. Even though we're trading into this bullish 1 minute, which we could bounce from, this is just such bad price action. Not something you want to be a part of. And again, why? We have an obvious daily fair value gap here, and we came down and inversed a very bullish 3 minute fair value gap, closed below it, then immediately swept all the way back above it and stopped people out at this high. Just so hard to be part of this. Even though this is probably going to go up now to this TP1, I mean, so tough. So we came super close here. Let's see if we end up hitting it. Crazy. Okay, so there's TP1. Again, unfortunately it went without me, but that's all. It is what it is. And then data highs are next. And guys, we formed another set of perfect equal highs here. That is wild. So we'll see what happens here, but I'm guessing that this 1 minute gap is going to be used to bring this up to the equal highs and then to the data highs, but there's nothing I can take here. So this is technically an order block. It's not a breaker block on NQ, but it is a breaker on ES, right? Low, high, lower, low, and a fair value gap within it. So this is a pretty strong PD array for price, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys want to try something here on a pullback, keep your stops maybe below this low, target the equal highs as TP1, and then target the data highs as TP2. I mean, that's something you can try. But I would definitely do the small size if you're going to do it. Okay, there's the equal highs, and now the data highs should hit, but wow, look at that. Right where I put the risk to reward, it hit. Okay, so I'd like to obviously see this keep pushing higher here, past the data high, and probably up to the top of this daily gap if I had to guess, but we'll see what happens. And just consolidating above this high. And again, this PD array is super important. Obviously, again, it's a fair value gap with a breaker on ES. So ES looks like it's probably going to be stronger here to target the data highs, maybe. No, NQ's definitely behaving stronger, never mind. Pepe, what's up? Good morning, brother. What's going on, Pepe? Missed you, bro. I haven't seen you in a minute. Nice. Focus on eval in some solo sessions and got close to a funded. Very beautiful. Okay, so if you guys want to re-enter here, again, it's higher, much higher risk now. The equal highs have been swept when we came close to the data highs without hitting them. But this could still easily go up and continue up to the data highs and above. You just have to be so careful now. But again, one of the things that ICT talks about is that breaker block with the fair value gap as one of the strongest PD arrays in the market. So If you're going to enter, this is probably the spot to do it. Stop loss would have to be somewhere down here below this breaker block. No, unfortunately, guys. So my sister has a wedding this weekend, and we're going out to we're going to her wedding. So I'm not going to be able to live stream until probably next Tuesday or Wednesday. This is the first time that I'm not able to, but did have a live stream yesterday. But I let everybody know in the Discord under the announcements tab and the economic calendar section. So this is where I want to see in this fair value gap. I'd like to see the market continue higher up to that data high, and then hopefully we can fill this daily fair value gap today. That's my real hope. I have a potentially dumb question. Must one place the stop loss? If I place a take profit without a stop loss, is that even ideal? Absolutely not. Stop losses are the only reason that people can stay profitable in these markets. Because no matter what you believe, guys, you can always be wrong. Please don't be the person that just takes a trade and doesn't put a stop loss on your trade. You have to have a stop loss. If you don't have a stop loss and the market fully reverses against you, you can blow it in account, especially if you're trading futures that are based on the leverage. Not a good idea, guys. Thank you, Pep. I appreciate it, sir. Yeah, we'll see you. I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday in the Discord or Wednesday. I'll let you guys know on the weekend which one it'll be. But yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, so I'd like to see a bullish reaction from here, and you want to see probably this set of fair value gaps right here get inversed back to the upside. If you're bullish, but again, I mean, you should have been long from somewhere here to target the equal highs and then the data highs next. I still think it goes up, but you have to be so careful. Does that make sense? A Central Crispy 7, by the way, what I was saying with the stop loss. Stop losses and take profits are what basically allow you to stay alive in these markets. If you don't have a stop loss and the market goes against you, let's just say we come all the way back down to this daily gap today, you can blow your whole account, right? So you have to have protection in case you're wrong, because you can always be wrong. I don't care what anyone says. If someone is speaking to you in absolute, saying this is for sure or for certain going to happen, they are snake oil salesman, in my opinion. But you'll find that out for yourself eventually if you don't find it out from me. So I'd love to see this set of fair value gaps here get closed above. You can see there's two of them in this set of candles. Then I'd like to see that high get swept again, and then the data highs get swept next. If it's going to reject from here, it's probably going to come back and retest the breaker block / order block here and then go higher. But either way, I'd like to see this data high get hit. Yeah, no worries. Hello? Just text me. Are you new to trading, Crispy? Crispy7? I'll keep you I'll call you Crispy7 for short. Okay, nice push so far, but I need to see this close above. We've got less than a minute until this closes. If this does close above, I'd like to see it quickly move up to here in this macro time and then up to the data highs. So this is what I love about the inverse fair value gap model is you pretty much get a hard stop. This is not the inverse fair value gap model. This is just my thesis of what I think the market's going to do to go higher. The inversion play here technically was right here. So there was two bearish fair value gaps. We closed above it on this candle. Your stop loss is a close back below the fair value gaps on the time frame you're on. So in this case, we're on the 1 minute chart. So your stop loss would have been a close below these fair value gaps on the 1 minute chart. Okay, so nice push so far. I'd like to see this go back up above this high and to the data highs now. Hoping that it does it in this leg of price. If it doesn't, we're probably going to consolidate for the remainder of the day and then take these out in the afternoon session. Okay. Yes, I'm new. I started trading 3 months ago. Not really trading. I'd say learning. Yeah, 100%. What I would recommend for you, Essential Crispy, number one, just back test. Study the markets as much as you can. Sit every day and watch how the markets play out. Try and learn the inversion fair value gap setup. If you go on my YouTube under my playlists, I have a playlist I made about how my setup works, like how to read market structure. It's pretty simple to understand. So go to my YouTube playlist. I think it's called ICT Tutorial or Mentorship for Beginners. So watch that. Try and actually watch ICT's videos. He likes to ramble a lot. Like he says a lot of information that isn't necessary for the video. So if you have a short attention span, either look at my videos or try and find somebody else that teaches inverse fair value gaps with very short, concise methods, but then just study the markets and then try and use a prop firm. That's what I use to trade. I use cash accounts as well, but prop firms basically allow you to trade with somebody else's money and it's a lot cheaper, especially when you're new. I lost a lot of money when I first started trading. I made most of my money through real estate. And so when I started day trading, I lost like, I don't know, 15 or 20 grand in the beginning. And it was a very tough lesson to learn, especially when I had less money to my name. So you really should be using those accounts because it allows you to make mistakes and fail without losing a ton of money. But here's the inversion. So if you guys wanted to take this, this is the entry there. Sorry for being late on this. But your stop loss would have to be a 1 minute close back below. Stop to break even at this high, targeting the data highs. That's the setup for this morning. Again, higher risk because we've already taken out some highs, but nonetheless, it's still a setup. And then I would even hold the runners up to the top of the daily fair value gap. Greg, good morning, sir. Alex M, I've lost about 80K on day trading. $80K on day trading is wild work. Damn. Do you trade NQ futures, Alex, or what do you trade? Or do you trade a variety of things? Also, guys, make sure if you If you're in the stream watching, I'm not sure if you're on YouTube or X or what, but make sure you like the stream. It helps the algos. Oh, you trade ES? First of all, I would recommend switching to NQ if you can. What I would suggest for people who are struggling with day trading, because I know it is one of the most difficult things out there you can do. Very easy to go on tilt, very easy to lose money. What I would suggest for you guys, try and focus on swing trading instead. I've been transparent on my live streams before about this, but the majority of my money is made through option selling, swing trading, and then obviously dividends and long-term investing. Day trading is probably 20% of the income that I make through the markets. It's a very small percentage of what I make. And yeah, so just a heads up for you guys who are setting an unrealistic expectation for day trading. It is very difficult. It's going to take you probably 5+ years before you really are consistently profitable, assuming you can get the psychology down, manage the risk correctly, not go on tilt. There's so many different things that are involved, and it just takes years and years and years of trial and error until you get it. Patience, discipline, those are things that you learn through losing money pretty much. But in my community, I do a lot of swing trading and a lot of option selling, so that it provides people a better opportunity to make other forms of income through the markets rather than just day trading futures. Even though it's a great way to make money, for most people, it doesn't come successfully for years. So I'm just giving you a realistic expectation to start here. Hope that makes sense. Okay, hold on. I'm getting some text here. So I think the market is going to pump here up to the data highs and higher. But if it doesn't happen in this macro time, it's probably going to happen later in the session or in the afternoon session. We'll see. What a feeling. Charlie, what's up? Good morning, brother. So there is a 1-minute inversion playing out here. Again, your stop loss has to be a close back below both of these fair value gaps. But I'm expecting in this macro for us to pump above the data highs and then to go higher, hopefully. If it doesn't happen in this macro time or in this AM session, it's probably going to consolidate, go down in the PM session, and then we're probably going to get it later on. But I'm hoping it just pushes here. We've got just under 7 minutes till the macro time is over. So I'm hoping in the next 7 minutes we get the push up. Wow, this stream is pumping right now. 22 people. What's up with the algos today? Okay, so consolidation here. Probably going to trade back into this 1-minute fair value gap if I had to guess, but maybe maybe we go higher here. What time to consider a macro time? If you guys don't have this indicator in your charts, try and get it on TradingView. It's called Next Macro Kill Zones by Cognito. And you can take a screenshot right now if you guys want. These are the macro times that I use. Specifically, the first 3 are the most important in my opinion. I rarely trade the afternoon session unless there's something A+++++. But these 3 macros are what I love. And it's basically it's the change of the hourly candle. ICT calls it a macro time, but it's really just the change of the hour. So hopefully, guys, this 1-minute fair value gap is used as support to bring the market up to the data highs. If this does not hit in this macro time, expect consolidation in the rest of the AM session, and then potentially to move up in the PM session. We'll see, though. But there is a very strong confluence in my view above this data high. Sorry, I'm on the wrong chart. There's a very strong confluence above this data high, so I think this is going to hit. But again, you have to... If this ends up closing below here on the 1 minute chart, we're probably going to go down in AM session, and then we're going to hit it later. So, and I have to end this stream pretty soon, but hopefully we get it here so that I can end the stream on a good note. But we want to see this 1 minute fair value gap have a bullish reaction to go higher, ideally. And everybody knows what a data high is, right? For those of you who are new to my stream. Hopefully you know. If you don't know what a data high is, this candle that formed at 8, whoa, was it 8:39 this morning? Oh, so unemployment claims was actually at 8:30. There was some other news that came out at 8:49. So I actually didn't even notice this, guys. I thought this was just from unemployment claims. It wasn't. Maybe Trump said this. I'm not sure. But something happened at 8:30 was unemployment claims. Something happened at 8:49 that caused this massive candle. And basically, this is the setup I talk about all the time, and this is like my main model. If we are able to sweep either the high or the low of the data candle, so in this case we swept the low first, I'm looking for a setup to target the data highs. So there was a few that came here. This was one of the setups. I didn't take this one personally today because there were 2 fair value gaps and it was pretty large, and we'd already swept the internal high, so it was just a bad setup in my opinion. But it still ended up working. Equal highs here, data highs here. Now, I mean, I'm hoping this inversion does end up taking us back to the data highs, but we need to see a bullish reaction from this fair value gap to then go higher. Hopefully by the end of this macro time, so we'll see. But pretty much, guys, it's very simple. If we sweep the high, you're looking for the low. If we sweep the low, you're looking for the high. And you just look for an inversion fair value gap setup to get there. Okay, so I like this candle so far, but I need to just really see it pump here. Yes, but it needs to be a news candle. Like this is a massive candle. If you guys mark from low to high, this is 140 points. You never see candles like this unless major news comes out. So yeah, but basically you're looking for the opposite end of it. So if the high got swept first, we'd be looking to target the low. In this case, the low got swept first on these candles, so we're looking to target the high. Yeah, no worries, MT. Okay, so the fair value gap is reacting bullishly, but we really need to see continuation here. If this candle ends up closing back below here after the macro time, it's probably going to stall until the 1150 macro. So I really want to see it just cleanly deliver here. No, I didn't, Greg. I missed it. I didn't like that this inversion swept the internal high before going up. But I am in this on very small size on a funded account, but it was within this. I don't know if you guys remember when I called this rebalance here and this fair value gap, but not on a cash account and not with big size. I'm just hoping that we get a clean delivery. The macro time is basically over here, but I'd like to see this data high get swept in this session rather than waiting and stalling. So we'll see what happens here. But it looks promising, but we'll see. So I don't like that we came really close. Well, actually, we swept this internal high. You can see that on that candle. We're rejecting already. Not a great sign, but we just need to see this pump, obviously. Oh, no worries, Greg. Yeah, I'm... Oh, 180. That's good, Greg. What, did you take an inversion play, or what did you take? Really want to see this pump here, guys, if it's going to pump in this morning session. Okay, so hopefully we get this in the next like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm praying for that, and then we can end the stream. Oh, demand zone play? Nice, nice. Guys, for those of you who don't know what my model is, it's all inversion, fair value gaps, and liquidity. If you want to learn more about it, go onto my YouTube playlist and find the ICT free tutorial. That is the best way you can learn it. And it's very simple to learn. There are a lot of nuances, though, so it can get a little bit more complex as you learn more. But if you guys want to learn it, it's worth a shot, in my opinion. Don't give up. Okay, so really want to see this push here. And then again, the target is the data highs right above us, and then hopefully above that. Nice. Let's see it go higher here. So if the internal high here gets swept, guys, I would probably move your stop to break even on this play. In fact, I would probably even do it now because we've already swept an internal high. So I'd like to see this cleanly deliver now, but if it doesn't, you're probably going to get stopped for break even on this trade. And then it's probably going to go down, sweep these lows first, and then go up. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so hopefully this pushes up here. Love to just see it go without trading back into all of this range. But for sure, this is either a partial spot. Hold on, let me magnetize this so that this is either a partial spot or a stop to break even spot. Okay, nice move so far. Let's see if we can get past it and up to that data high. Love that candle, but I need to see this continue. If this ends up trading back to this low, then this is this play is dead. Beautiful so far. I'd like to see the data high get hit again, and then I'd like to see it go past that. Greg, I do trade evals, but right now I have enough fundeds through Apex and Top Step X, so I don't really have any evals right now that I'm looking to continue with, but I will eventually. Wow, 30 viewers, bro? Where are these coming from? Okay, so again, I'm going to be done here, guys. I have to get off this stream anyways. I will catch you guys in the Discord but I'll stay on until the data highs obviously hit. If you guys, boom! All right, there it is. So if you guys want access to all of the live streams and all of my swing trades, option selling, day trading on the best days, there is a link there. So you guys are welcome to use that. I wish you guys the best of luck with your trading. That's the data highs. Again, I hope you learned something from the stream. And yeah, let's keep pushing. And I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. So check the chat and the description if you want to join on WAP. And yeah, we'll get another good week next week.